Got me a bag, yeah, I need a leg, yeah, we bout to turn up. How the shit in the city, yo, who fucking with it, yeah, we bout to burn up. Wanna show a feature, we sell out the bitches, so please get your funds up. We bout to up 1 year, that's what you call a come up.
All right, how you doing today, Keisha?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Doing good. So I'm glad that you came on here today. I know we're gonna be talking about the trucking industry and everything, man, and you know how you got into it. So if you don't mind giving the people some game about it today.
Okay, so like you said, I'm Lakisha. I have a company called Running by Faith LLC. It's a dump truck company. I started out, I'm gonna give you a little history. I started out over the road. I started with this company called Prime, and the guy that I was in a relationship then, he introduced me to the whole industry, and so I went and got my CDLs and started driving over the road with them, and I drove for a year. And I got kind of tired of going state to state, so my mom at the time owned a dump truck company.
Okay.
And you know, as I was complaining to her, I was like, hey mom, you know, I'm tired of being out here, I'm tired of going state to state. She was like, just come home, I'll give you the dump truck. I was like, for real? I was like, I don't want the dump truck, you know, for real. I was like, I don't want that, because every time she would talk to me about it, it was always tires, all these big bills, and I'm like, why would I want to do all that? You know?
Yeah.
Like,
it's a lot of responsibility.
Right. But then she left out the part that she makes good money. So I'm like, well, you should have led with that. You know.
But that's good though. Right. That's good because a lot of people get into it, they look at the money, they don't even look at all that. So you got the opposite effect of like, oh, why would I want to do it? And then, but you forgot about, she didn't tell you about the money part.
She didn't tell me about the money part. So I was like, okay. So even though you have all these expenses and all these hurdles and stuff that sometimes you may have to get over, she didn't tell me that, you know, you make great money. So I'm like, you know, I was like, okay, so let me think about it. So anyway, I came home. She gave me the dump truck. Well, actually, I started working for her for a minute, and then she just wanted to kind of retire, and so she gave me the dump truck, and that's how I got started. And I started with this company called King's Hauling Asphalt.
Okay, right here in
Simpsonville. So I started with them, and then I got other contracts, Rogers Group and all of that, and I do side work, hauling dirt, gravel, and all of that. So I started out with one truck, and then the partner I was with, we actually got another truck, and then another truck, and then another truck. Okay, so we ended up with 4 trucks, right? And then things was great, you know. We had drivers, everything, you know. So this is the bad part about downside of trucking. Some people you hire, you know, they're not going to take care of your equipment like you would take care of your equipment. So, you know, and they're not going to be as safe as you would be in your own, you know, because it's under your business name and all that. So I had a driver that actually got in an accident and hit a lady on a moped. So but it was not his fault. It was not his fault, thank God. It was not his fault. So in that, you know, of course it causes the insurance to go up. It causes my company to deem unsafe. So everything, you know, they're going to hit you where the money's at. So I ended up selling a dump truck to my cousin. And because it was just too much overhead without everything going up, and I'm like, this is just too much. So I didn't want to deal with drivers no more, because, you know, that was just enough for me.
So let me add before I didn't mean to cut you off. So let me add, so with you having the 4 drivers, you know, and I know you saying it was, you know, it's going good. Like, what's good? Like, what is? I'm
gonna say this. Good is $500,000 a year good. But with that $500,000 a year, that's not all your money, and that's what people get confused.
That's just the revenue.
That's just the gross. Now, out of that $500,000, I got $300,000 in expenses and bills and paying drivers and insurance, if not more. Because then, you know, you don't also calculate the little things here and there. You know, you may leave that off or miss that receipt. So even though I'm making all this money, I have a whole lot of responsibility, a whole lot of stress, not sleeping, not, you know, because the drivers, you the boss, so they're going to call you, you know. So with all of that money that I was making, and then to see at the end, I'm like, I'm only left with breakdowns, insurance, workman's comp. I mean, in the trucking industry, they're gonna hit you with everything. They want you to pay just to be able to work. In every aspect. You're gonna have a fuel tax on top of already tax on this tax and that tax. It's like, God dog, we can't make no money for paying somebody. Yeah. So that is the downside to trucking. So in trucking, I said all of that to say this. You're gonna have to be a great stewardess over the things that you have. Like meaning, you're gonna have to be disciplined to save your money, you know, because there's gonna be uptime, you know. You're going to be making a whole lot of money 1 minute, and then in the winter time, it's going to slow down for you.
Okay.
So, you know, you have to put back money for tires, maintenance, things like that. There's nobody that's you know, going to front you that. That's all
even
on you.
Tow bill high. I see when it's like, just to get this tow from here to here, that's how much.
Listen, I'm telling you, like, people don't understand. Yeah. A lot of people want to get in the industry, and they think, oh, you know, I get in this industry, I just drive trucks, it's an easy job, and it's more to it than that. And it's a lot of regulations and a lot of rules in trucking that people don't realize, and they in it, and then they're not abiding by the rules or don't have their paperwork right because they just want to drive the truck. Yeah. You can get fines, I mean big boy fines, $10,000 fines. You know, you can get your insurance can actually go up because you're not following certain DOT regulations. Like it's a lot to it. It's a double side to it. You know, it's good and it's bad. Yeah.
So with doing that, like, I know you're saying the downside, like, so is it like on the upside? What do you suggest, like, if you getting into it and it's like you got the positive and you got the negatives, what would you suggest to somebody that's getting into it? Is it best to just go work for a company to kind of learn the business, or if you got enough cash flow to get you through your first year, would it be something that you can go that way, or just save for a year to kind of learn the business? What would be the way to go for that?
Well, for me, I like to know the ins and outs of anything I get into. Yeah. So my recommendation to somebody who's trying to get into it, I would tell you, go drive for a company for at least 6 months to a year. Understand how the industry works. Look at what this company is paying out. Look at what you're bringing in. Look at, just learn the industry in and out and see if this is something that you want to actually do on your own, because once you become that business owner, you don't have the company to back you. It's all on you. So in that 6 months to a year time, you can make a good decision. Is this, I want all this responsibility, or would I rather just get a check and drive the truck? Yeah. I mean, so you got to weigh it out, what works best for you. Some people don't want to deal with all the stress, you know, and so and that's cool too, you know. Yeah. And then some people don't mind the stress that comes with it, you know. Yeah. When it's good, it's good. You know, when it's bad, it can be bad. You know.
Does it get easier as you're going, or does it just get harder? Like,
of course. So I'm gonna go back to what I was telling you when I own 4 trucks. For me, what I've realized, sometimes less is more. Yeah. So when I downsized the company, and I actually saw more money coming into my home versus paying all this stuff out. Yeah. So and I got to sleep more. Hey, you know, I got to sleep more. Now I drive my own truck. Yeah. You know, I know, you know, if I'm gonna mess it up, I'm gonna mess it up on my own. Yeah. You know, I don't want nobody else messing it up. Yeah. So, you know, for me, I have less stress. You know, it ain't all stress isn't gone, but you know, for me, it was less, and I felt more free, more freedom with it. So as you get older, you know, that's what I'm looking for the most. I don't need to be rich. Yeah. I just want something that allow me to be able to travel, because I love to travel and do my own thing, and that's why I'm in it. It ain't like I love trucking.
Yeah, I love trucking, but it pays for your life. Right. You do what you want to do in life. Right. So you saying you're down to just 1 truck now? Now
I actually have 2. Yeah. One is in the shop, and I don't look forward to putting a driver there. I might end up selling it. Yeah. You know, and I'm actually finna buy a tractor trailer, believe it or not.
So I was gonna ask you too. So what do you? I know, cause I know like the 18 wheelers, they do pretty good, and then you got the hot shot and you got the dump truck, but tractor trailers is industry.
I'm gonna say this. Dump truck is good if you want to stay local. Okay, Tractor trailer can be good if you want to stay local also. But I'm gonna say this. I drove both sides of the tractor trailer and the dump truck. Tractor trailer's gonna make more.
Yeah.
But you're gonna have to work more to get that money.
Yeah.
Nothing is free.
Yeah.
Where they may, like, for an example, let's say I make $3,000 a week. That tractor trailer, if it's running from state to state, might make 10. But they're gonna work for that. So you have to decide, will I take this 3? I can still live a nice life with this 3 and stay local versus going from state to state. So for me, when I get my tractor trailer, I still plan on running it local. I don't need, I mean, of course, who wouldn't want to make 10, 15,000? But for me, I'd rather have the peace and the just
being home. Being
so
home.
like I'd rather do that, and know where my truck is at versus somebody call. Let's say if I decide to get a driver, I'm all the way in Wisconsin and I don't know, now I got to get my truck home. So for me, I just rather it be local here so I can just pull up on you with what you need, So yeah.
Do it like that. Okay, I got you. All right, so Keisha, so going back just to the start. So how do you even get into the industry? Like, how did you? I mean, I know how you said you got into it, but for a person who want to get into it, how do they go about getting the numbers and starting the business as far as with trucking?
Okay, I'm gonna start even all the way down to the basics because this is just my belief. I think you're gonna need to know your own field, so no one can hustle you, no one can get over on you. If you know how to drive that tractor trailer, dump truck, whatever business you're getting into, and you know the ins and out of it, can't no driver come in and hustle you, steal from you, or anything like that. So get your CDLs, and if a lot of time people just want to get their CDLs and put a driver, get the company and put a driver in there, and they don't know anything that's really kind of going on. And if your driver is sick or ill or anything like that, that dispatcher gonna still need that load there. So you should be able to get in there and shoot that load there. So I would first say start with your CDLs. Second, and you can do that at Tri-County. I think they're giving giving the CDLs, and they offering weekend and night classes. Greenville Tech or anything like that. And then, like I said, I would personally say go drive for a company, and then after you've done that, you need to see which lane you want to go into, because there's a lot of lanes in trucking.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch.
I know you know more about car hauling. I don't know really nothing about
I did a high shot for a little bit, so I know a little something. But
it's, and then you have dump truck, and you have tractor trailer. So you got to decide what lane you want to go into. Oh, you also have the little box trucks, the
box trucks. A lot of people get into the box trucks too.
Right. But they don't. Right. But they have to know, even with those box trucks and tractor trailers, unless you have a dispatcher or someone that's actually feeding you loads.
And can you break that down? Because a lot of them get the broker and the dispatcher confused. So with the dispatcher, can you break that down to them as far as?
So the broker is the person that has the relationship with the companies or the people that's needing their load moved. The dispatcher has a relationship with the broker. So he's like the middleman that actually, he gets the loads, the information, everything from the broker, and then the dispatcher dispatches to you. Hey, I need this load going such and such. There's load boards though, that you can bypass the middleman. And you can actually go on the load board and find your load yourself, and say, well, I want to take this load from here to there. And as long as you have a great safety record, as long as you're dependable and you're not breaking down and you're not just showing up for the loads, that's how you build your rapport, and they will use you more often. It's like a rating that you get, and then you'll get better loads on the load board. You can pick, I want to pick up this load in Atlanta and take it to Charlotte, and it may pay, and they'll tell you what it's paying and everything. So you can cut out the middleman. Or a lot of people don't want to do none of that. They just want to drive, so that's cool too. You can hire your dispatcher, and the dispatcher will feed you loads, but that also costs. You have to pay the dispatcher. And or some people have a relationship with the broker. They go straight past the dispatcher and go straight to the broker. You could do that also.
Which is the best way to me, I feel. If you build a relationship with a broker and they feed you, you ain't got to worry about a dispatcher.
Facts.
Yeah. So besides that, now going back to like getting into it, I know we were saying we're talking about the dispatch and the broker. So what other cases as far as like how do they file for getting their numbers and the insurance and all that? I know all that comes with running the trucking business too.
Right. So after you decide what lane you're going into, let's say dump truck, you're gonna need a DOT number, and you can go on DOT.com and apply for that. That's free. That DOT number is free, and they'll give you a DOT. You do need a LLC or
you need that before you
you need your LLC before you even get your DOT.
Too.
Right. I can't remember the website that I went to get the LLC, but I know that if you Google it and put in how to get an LLC in South Carolina, it'll bring you straight to the website. And then you just apply, and they give you an EIN number. Then you can go get your DOT. For me, I have IFTA and an MC number. I work under my own authority, and the reason why I have IFTA, but this is not required for dump truck, is because I actually I'm able to run my truck from state to state. So Florida, if they got a load or something in Florida that I want to actually go down there and stay for months or whatever and run, I can do that because I'm IFTA. So that's not a requirement. You don't have to do that.
It's like a tax, the state to keep you, so that way they can keep up with where you're going.
Where you're going, fuel tax, all of that. So that's also a charge. That's also a bill. It's a tax. You got to pay that. And depending on the state you're in is how much you have to pay. So but like I said, that's not required. You don't have to have that if you just want to stay right here in South Carolina. And then that's pretty much it. Is IFTA, your DOT, LLC, DOT, and then your insurance. Insurance, I have Progressive. I'm sure there's cheaper insurances out there. Or even higher, I don't know. I just know they're really good with truckers, so that's who I use for my insurance. And once you get all of that in line, keep up with your paperwork, then you're ready to actually go and purchase your equipment. I would tell you to go older truck, not old, but a used truck is gonna make just as money as a brand new truck. And that's how I would start out. I wouldn't go get in all this debt and all this overhead, and you're not even knowing how to manage your money yet. Get something that you could pay off quick, and just gonna make you some money,
So basically, if I'm gonna go out, it's best to just, instead of going to get a $10,000 lease vehicle, go out and get one that you can buy $10,000 in cash, and that way you ain't got no truck payment. No truck payment,
no none of that. That's my opinion. You can go do all of that, if you want to. But I would definitely go used, and with used you're gonna have maintenance. You're just gonna know that truck is gonna tear down. With the brand new, you're gonna have a high truck note. They're the same. You're gonna pay money either way. So just choose your poison.
So okay, so I know you were saying about that also. So when I get into it and I get going, how do I get contracts? Like, I know you got like to the low board and stuff, but how could I go about getting the contracts as far as with a broker, or how could I find a broker?
In my experience, word of mouth.
Word of mouth.
Asking people, like how a lot of people are hauling BMW loads, is who know who. How do I get in? I know you do this. How do I get in there? Who do I need to speak to? Because it's not, if it is on Google, I don't even know where to Google it or try to, I can go down to Benur office and say, hey, how do I, I can do that. Because, Benur is the main people that haul for BMW. But really, it's, once you get, that's why I say you need to drive for somebody so you can understand the industry. A lot of trucking is word of mouth. And then they connect you to, I use this broker. I use this, or and then you learn from there, and you just started, collecting your contacts, and you build from there. Some stuff you can Google, like you can Google how do I get loads for state of South Carolina or whatever, and it'll probably pop up. There's a load board that you can go to. You download the app, things like that. But a lot of it for me has been word of mouth.
Word of mouth. So it's really, you gotta get out here and work for us. I mean,
It's a hustle.
You got the load boys. I know a lot of people be on the load boys. So a lot of load you see it 1 minute, and the next minute it's gone.
It's
so
gone.
a lot of it, if you can get your word in and get out there, you can kind of get in with somebody where they can keep it rolling.
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
cool. So what other things that, I know you saying you get into the tractor trailer, so is there any other things like with the trucking that you plan on doing, as far as, I know you female boss, so as far as anything like with women, you plan on doing anything like helping women get into it or kind of guiding them?
Most, not on a bigger scale.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this. I'm willing to help anybody, male, female, cat, dog, it don't matter.
Yeah.
If you ask me, I believe this knowledge or my experiences, me sharing it with you is not going to hinder me.
Yeah.
So I'd rather give it to you. Like, I had a young lady actually called me Thursday,
Okay.
and she said, and she actually used to drive for me, and she said, "Hey, Keisha, I'm ready to buy me a dump truck. What's the steps?" We was on the phone for about 30 minutes. I ran down each step for her. This is what you need to do first. This is what you need to do. I want you to go over there and talk to Kings, because they need dump trucks. They're in need of a dump truck. So go over there. They'll take your contract and they will put you to work. So it don't matter. Like, just ask me. I'm not. I help anybody. Yeah.
So with that being said, do you mind giving the people a little information on how to, because there might be somebody that's watching that got a dump truck, like how can they get in with Kings? Like, what are the steps that you can take them? So Keisha, I know you were saying about the Kings asphalt contract. So do you mind giving some information on how somebody that's local that got a dump truck or about to buy one might can help get them their first contract, or how they can go about getting it?
Right. They're located in Liberty, South Carolina.
Okay.
And if you Google it, Kings Asphalt Incorporated, it'll give you directions and everything how to get on there. They got a main office. You go in there and you just basically ask for a contract to haul for them. Once they'll give you the contract, they're gonna ask you for your insurance information. They're gonna ask you when you're available, and then they're gonna put you to work because they're in need of a dump truck. So it's just that simple. It's just, if you want to do what I do, which is haul asphalt, you could do that. And there's also another truckers app. It's called Truck App, that they actually give you loads. Like, let's say at the quarry, the rock quarry, they may need out of Great Court, you pick up rocks and deliver it to no man's land or something. I'm just using.
Yeah.
You can actually go in there, select that, and do that. That's like an independent thing. Like, I don't work for Kings. I work for myself.
Okay.
But they basically, I'm leased to them in a way. Like.
So it's basically like you got a contract or what? You just
Correct.
Independent contractor.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they pay you with $10.99 basically.
Right.
They just basically, but you get paid pretty good
Yes.
to do it. So it's worth going to talk to them.
Yeah.
Y'all go talk to them. I know they making some money, so go holler at them.
Yeah.
Okay. And also I know your female boss and everything. So do you have a DUNS number? I know a lot of people, and if you don't know what a DUNS number is, it's a specialized number. I'll let you explain it to them.
I do have a Dun Bradstreet number. It's a basically a business. To break it down, it's like another business EIN, but it's just solely focused on your business. Like, so a lot of people, I actually just found out about the DUNS number about maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah.
My mama didn't know, nobody, I listening to people, I was like, what is that? How are you taking a loan against your business number?
Yeah.
Like, I was like confused. I was like, well, I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah.
So I actually created a DUNS number, and what that is just basically it allows you to get bigger loans. It allows you to get like, for an example, like, let's say I wanted to go buy another dump truck, but I don't personally have the funds, or my personal credit, interest rate may not get me, the rate or the payment that I need, but my business credit is booming, like, so I can actually go and apply for that loan under my my DUNS number, and depending on my rating, because it's just like a credit score, that I probably would be approved for a larger amount versus with my personal. You see what I'm saying? So I know people like the $1 million companies got DUNS number, so I would definitely tell everyone to if you're going into business, get you a Duns and Bradstreet number.
Yeah.
Because
And can you get that when you first start, or is it like a time limit you gotta get it?
yes, you can get it when you first start. You definitely can get it when you first start. I
Okay.
think, hold on, I might be saying that wrong. It might be a 2-year minimum. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Well, you know, you probably could Google it.
Let's Google that.
But yeah.
Look that up before you do it though.
But a lot of people a lot of people don't realize in business, you're not supposed to be spending none of your money.
Yeah. Okay.
You should always be spending the bank's money.
So how could you get the business credit up? So if you start and you have no business credit, how do you get
They'll
business
give
credit?
you like credit cards and like fuel cards and different things like that where it'll build your number up. Paying your truck note on time. Or get your DUNS number up. Getting like I got a Staples credit card.
Yeah.
I may use it for paper or something like that. That actually boosts my DUNS number.
Wow.
Up. Yeah.
Okay.
So little stuff like that
Well,
can
so
help.
once you get it and then you start doing right with it, it's just
It just shoots up.
It shoots up. Okay. Okay. Cool. So and is it? I've heard like is it any programs that comes with it like grants and stuff for women, minority women that's getting into it?
Well, I don't know about that, but there is a DBA. Am I saying the right? DBE?
DBA, I think it's
DBA?
Yeah, I think it's DBA.
Yeah. It's basically for minority women. And a minority don't mean just color. It means a woman that's in a predominantly male industry. Mm-hmm. She's a minority. Mm-hmm. So what this does is give us a little an advantage. So for an example, Kings by law is required to have 20% of his truckers to be DBE. Okay, so what that means is that if I was DBE'd, I'm not. My cousin Tanya is. She's DBE. Once they reach that 20% of who they're, hauling that's DBE, they don't necessarily have to run her like a DBE because they are at their, max of DBE. But what DBE is, it's a little slight advantage where you can go bid on these government contracts, and you actually get the whole contract as if you were like Kings.
Okay.
So, you're running it, you hauling it, all of that. And it also supposed to create work, like meaning they're not supposed to really turn, if I'm DB, they're not really supposed to turn me down. Do you see what I'm saying? Because but there's a trick, in every rule there's a trick. Like I said, if they already covered in their 20%, they don't have to run me for DBE. DBE supposed to get over, I think, 80% of their work. So they're gonna work. Let's say they only need 10 trucks.
Yeah.
And I'm not DBE'd. They're probably not gonna put me on that schedule to run that load if their DBE isn't full. They're gonna get the load before I will. So that's the advantage of it.
So they gotta have them in there.
Right.
Wow, that's crazy. I didn't use knowledge.
Yeah.
Keys.
Yeah.
Gotta get them. And she got. Yeah, that's crazy though. Wow. So I didn't even know that. So is it any other things that you feel like people might need to know to get into this industry, or as far as the basics, you think you done covered it all right now?
I not covered the basics. Really just drive, motivation, patience, just the will.
Matter of fact, go ahead and get these folks they've been in the motivation. When you already get into it, Mom, go ahead and start it up right now. Y'all been in the motivation from Miss Keisha.
Yeah, so for me, I get up in the morning and I tell myself affirmations. So, that I can, I will, and I'm successful. So, for me, that's what drives me every day. And of course the relationship with God. So I'm gonna say, if you get in anything and you feel like you cannot, there's always somebody out here that's willing to help. And I'm one of those people. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram. I'm actually on Google also. You can just Google me, Running by Faith, Lakisha Phillips. And there's always somebody out there to help you along the way. So don't get discouraged, because everyone, I've had to have help, I've had to reach out to people to help me. I had people to turn away and say, you know what, no, you know how they act. They don't really want to give you the information, so you got to go keep. It's like you begging them.
I think that's the problem too. I think that's the main problem. A lot of people, they can't find the right information from that right person.
Right, and I don't understand that because it's not going to take no money from my pocket. So,
nah, that should probably help you then.
Right, because you reap what you sow. I'm gonna say that it's not a hard business, to get into. Anything you put your mind to, you can do. So, and that's just what I live by. I don't allow nobody to tell me no. And me being a female in a predominantly male industry, for all the females out there, you're gonna have some men that do not want you to be in this industry, and some of them may create or try to make it hard for you. They may have nasty, slick comments. I let my work ethic speak for me. So, whether you want me here or not, this is my place. I'm here to stay. Yes, I can do this job. Just because I'm a female does not mean I can't do this job. So, I let my work speak for myself. I treat everybody with kindness out there and everything. And eventually, them men, they'll catch the hint. Like, she ain't so bad. And she actually can dump this truck. I can. Better than you.
So a lot of them don't get mad with you while you at it?
Well, when I first started, they deemed me as an aggressive black woman because I didn't bow down. Stay in the woman's face. No, you give it to me, I'm gonna give it back to you. So
They ain't like that.
They didn't like that, and I roll for my company. You're not finna get over on me because I'm a woman. So they don't really like you to stand up, but as they got to know me, they were like, "Oh, Lakisha's a sweetie pie." But you don't cross the line. But she, she a good person.
And I'm pretty sure you gotta have that face on for them anyway, because you're dealing with a lot of men, so they will take advantage of you.
Right,
they will, especially the brokers and all.
Right.
But but that's what's up though, Keisha. I'm glad that you're doing it. I'm glad I see a woman that's succeeding in it, man. And I hope that you motivate other women to do the same thing, man, because that's exactly what they need. So Keisha, I appreciate you coming on the show today. I'm glad that you was able to drop a lot of knowledge today, man. You taught me some things, and I hope whoever's watching this can learn a lot from what you said today. And man, I'm just, if you listening, go back, watch 3 more times, get all the info you need, because she did drop a lot of info. With the DUNS number, get the DOT number, a lot of that is important. You gotta have it. So, I'm just glad you came on and dropped that knowledge for us today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. It was actually an honor. I was like, you want to interview me?
Yeah, man, you got a lot going on for yourself. I know what you're doing. There's a lot of people getting into the industry, and a lot of people are getting into it and don't really know what's going on, and they're failing. So I just want to kind of be a help, and I know you a big help to a lot of people. So I just want to bring you on and let you just spit your game to them.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And if y'all got any questions, if you need to clarify or want me to clarify anything, you can definitely inbox me at Lakisha Phillips. That's my name on Facebook. You can inbox me. I'm not gonna give my number out on public, but if you serious inquiries only, I will give you my number and we can chat on the phone. So.
And that's good. But I appreciate you coming on today. And also, you can follow her, Lakisha Phillips, at Facebook.
Yes, on
Classy
Facebook.
Beauty.
And Classy Beauty 81 on Instagram. Also, Mel Lloyd on Facebook, Comeup Radio on Facebook, and Comeup Radio on Instagram. Y'all stay tuned. Keep it locked in, man. We'll see y'all later. Peace.
Just got me a bag, I need a lag, we about to turn up. Hot as shit in the city, who fucking with it, we about to burn up. Wanna show a feature, we sell out the bitches, so please get your funds up. We about to up 1 year, that's what you call a come up.